3, 2, 1. The two blushes that I've been going towards, 3, 2, 1. The two blushes that I would, 3, 2, 1. The two blushes that I can't talk. I just can't. I can't say this sentence. Hey guys, it's Drea. Today I have my current favorites. Honestly, I don't know when this is going up, so it's just current favorites. It's what I've been using a lot in the last month and just loving. So let's start out with foundation. The ones that I've been using the most, surprisingly, are my most hydrating, but it's because I've been mixing them. So I have here my Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir. It gets so dirty. It's in the shade 610, and Lancome Skin Feels Good Hydrating Skin Tint. This, I'm sure, was in my favorites last month. I just adore this. Both of these are very hydrating. They do feel good on the skin. They do keep you hydrated for a long time. So if you are oily, it's not such a good thing. However, I have been mixing them with my most mattifying foundations, which are the Lancome Tint Idol Ultra, just because this is in my makeup use up, and also it's so light. And these are both kind of like my summertime shades, so it's perfect right now because I can get the mattifying properties and also kind of get my right shade by mixing it. So I've been mixing it either with that or with the Estee Lauder Double Wear, which is like my most matte foundation in my collection. So I just love doing it because I can't get through a whole day wearing these, but I love the way they look on the skin. These are my most like natural skin looking, like real skin looking foundations. Which makes them my most favorite because that's what I really love, but kind of cutting them a little bit with the other mattifying foundations does give a little bit more coverage, and it's not maybe as skin-like, but at the same time, it just lets them last on my face, which is what I'm looking for. For lipstick, I don't necessarily have like a lot of shades that I'm gravitating towards, just because I've been trying to do my lipstick of the day video recording for you guys, so I'm really just using like one shade a day. However, I will say this, I have been loving my Anastasia matte lipsticks. The formula on these is just incredible. I adore these. I definitely want more. Out of all the lipsticks that I have that I want more of, I would say these and the Too Faced Natural Nudes, which are so creamy. They're almost the opposite formula of these, but I love that formula and I love this formula. Anyways, these are amazing because they are so matte. This is one that I'm wearing today in Plumeria. They stay on your lips for hours. Even if I drink some coffee, it'll still stay. It will transfer a little bit, like it's not transfer proof, okay? But it stays because the formula is so thick when it's first applied, but yet it still feels weightless on my lips. Like my lips do not feel dried out in any way, and the color selection is really nice. I'll show you a few of my favorites. I have a bunch, but this is just 4 that are kind of faves. So this is Dead Roses right here, which is like this really deep shade for fall that's kind of like very cool toned purpley brown. I also have Stargazer, which is this really intense bright pink. Love this. It's so pretty on. And then I also have Plumeria, which I'm wearing, and Sedona, which is probably my favorite like natural nude shade out of all the ones I have. And then Petal. Sedona is much more peach, and then Petal is much more like pink. So those are some really good nude options there, but I really love like all these colors. I picked this up a few weeks ago when Sephora had this in the weekly wow, and I am so glad that I have this back in my life. It's the Hello Fab Coconut Water Cream Moisturizer. This stuff is amazing. I've already been through one entire tube of this. This is now my favorite moisturizer of all time, like for nighttime, because it's just so refreshing. It feels so good to have on your skin. It is so hydrating and just refreshing feeling. I can't tell you guys enough how good this feels. As soon as I went back to this and I put it on my face again, that first time after a couple months of not using it, I almost felt like, oh, yes, like it was that feeling like, oh, where has this been? Like, I need this. So I'm really glad I finally have this, and I got a half price because it was in the weekly wows. The two blushes that I've been going towards the most, number one is my makeup use up blush, because I'm not trying to use it up, but I'm trying to get all the stupid design off of this blush. So I've been using this a lot. This is Exposed from Tarte, and this is also a really good time of year for this blush because it's this kind of like dusty pinky nude. matte that goes with everything. If you ever don't know what blush you should do with a look, you just pull out Exposed. Like, that's how it works. It's just the perfect nude blush that goes with everything. So I love this, and like I said, I've been going towards it a lot just because that design is mostly gone. It's really just that one area down there. Up here, it's pretty much all gone. Okay, and then this is brand new. Like, I just pulled this into my most recent Shop My Stash for the first time. This is from Rimmel. It's the Kate Blush Palette. Now, I guess they only have one because there's no like shade. It's really just this. The two on the end are matte. Actually, I would say more of a satin matte. And then the one in the middle has a lot of shimmer to it. Okay, the top one is still Exposed from Tarte. But you can see here, that's the more matte ones, and then the middle one, look how gorgeous that is. It's really beautiful. I will say this, these are kind of crumbly. They have a lot of kickback. They're not overly pigmented. I'm wearing actually these two mixed together today on my cheek, and I feel like I put on a decent amount. I don't feel like it's over applied. I wouldn't say it lasts all day long. It definitely doesn't. I think you would have to reapply it. I found that with a lot of drugstore blushes, to be honest. But I do love the color, and I think it's really easy to work with. Okay, I had to buy a new brow pencil because my Anastasia one ran out, and I bought this about 3 weeks ago or so. This is from Benefit. It's the Precisely My Brow Pencil. I've been loving this. This is what I'm wearing today. I actually think I might like this better than the Anastasia one, only because the Anastasia one I find is it's a very waxy kind of formula. So when you put it on, sometimes I have trouble getting it to be like precise, and I know like precise, but like precise, especially on the tail. I always feel like I can't draw the tail as well as I would like to. Like with the pomade, it's really easy, but the Anastasia one, just because of the waxy texture, whereas this, it's a little bit softer, but not overly soft at all. It just goes on really easily, and I've been enjoying it a lot. It is a few dollars more, I think, than the Anastasia one though, so I don't know that it's like, I don't know. I do love it. Like, I really do love it, which is why it's in this favorites. But geez, man, brow pencils from Sephora are so friggin' expensive. Actually, I didn't buy this at Sephora. I bought it at Shoppers now that I think about it. But basically, like, prestige brand eyebrow pencils, they're so expensive. I don't think they're really worth the money. Like, when you think about it, the L'Oreal one is like 10 bucks at Walmart, and these can be like 30. Like, that's ridiculous for the amount of product you get. But whatever, it is what it is. Okay, last 3 makeup products are eyeshadow palettes. Okay, this one blew my mind. I'm gonna put a picture of what I put up on Instagram, and actually I filmed 2 videos with this look. I've never had more compliments on an eyeshadow look ever than this one. And I used the Huda Beauty Smokey Obsessions palette for this. Now, I have promised that I will recreate that for you guys. I just don't think I can do it until after I move. I just don't have the time. So we're just going to talk about this palette for now. I did not love this for the first few months after I purchased it. I kind of still think that it doesn't blend as well as I would like it to. Like, the matte browns don't blend amazingly well. The shimmers are all really nice, and the black blended really great in that look. So let me just give you a couple little swatches of the metallics, because, you know, the mattes are just mattes. But I do really love this. It really surprised me. It really shocked me how much I really liked it. This is what I'm wearing today. I tried to basically do a halo eye, but I used the browns instead of the black today, just because I'm going to work and I didn't want like a full-on black smoky eye at work. But anyways, I really have been enjoying this a lot, and I think the Huda, like the little like compact, nice little eyeshadow palettes are so fun. They're just great. Okay, next is from BH. This is the Nouveau Neutrals palette. This is a mixture of mattes and shimmers. It's a really nice everyday basics palette. If that's what you're looking for, especially if you want something affordable, it works really well. The oranges were great in my pumpkin spice tutorial that I did. And I've used it a few other times, just you haven't seen it yet on my channel, but I have used it quite a few times and I've enjoyed it a lot. I do think that these are not the most amazing eyeshadows from BH, but they're like 80%. So I talk about BH a lot in how much I love it, how much I love the quality. I think they make amazing eyeshadows. like not just good for the price, but really incredible for the price eyeshadows. This palette I would say is good for the price eyeshadows, if that makes sense. So I still really like it. I like it a lot. I love the color selection. The blush is kind of like, they kind of fade. But the eyeshadows themselves, really, really like them. But it's not the best BH has ever done, but it's close. Now let's talk about the best BH has ever done, because this I think might be it. It might be it. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I love from them though. Okay, this Zodiac palette, you guys, I die over this. It's amazing. This palette is amazing. It is so easy to work with. The mattes in here blend so nicely. They are very pigmented, but these baked shadows are to die for. You know, honestly, I never really loved baked eyeshadows in general, just because I always feel like they take so much effort. These ones take literal no effort. If you watch any of the tutorials I've done using this palette, which there's a couple up already, I've filmed some more, and I promise you, I'm gonna do either a get ready with me or a tutorial on every sign in this palette, because that's how much I love this palette. Look at these baked shadows, you guys. And it's effortless. Like, watch. We're just gonna take just a little, just barely touching Cancer there, okay? And then barely touching. Like, they're incredible. I can't say enough good things about this palette. This palette excites me. This palette inspires me. This palette is so much fun. This palette makes me not even think about the fact that I put my Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca palette away and haven't touched it since, because I just don't feel like I want to. Like, this is amazing. So I highly recommend this. Now with like Black Friday coming up, I'm sure BH, they always do sales. I'm sure they will do sales. You guys need this. If you like color at all, you will adore this palette. So we have 3 things to talk about. 3 non-makeup related things to talk about. Number 1, This Is Us Season 2 is finally on Netflix. I've been waiting. Nobody has spoiled me yet on how Jack dies. Now, we all know Jack dies. You know from episode 1 that he dies, but I don't know how. I haven't seen that episode yet, but I am super like excited to get there. I will say the first couple episodes, I don't know, didn't really draw me in until like my heart broke. Anyways, you guys, I'm not gonna get too into it because I won't do spoilers, but I love This Is Us. If you've never seen that, and I've told people this, it has the best first episode of any TV drama that I have ever seen. The first episode, if that won't get you, then you just stop, because if you aren't taken in by that first episode, you shouldn't continue. The first episode, go on Netflix, watch it, it's amazing. Okay, second thing is this, Someone Knows Something. You guys know I'm into true crime, especially podcasts, and David Ridgen, he's had this podcast for quite a while called Someone Knows Something. It is Canadian true crime related. He's a documentarian, and it really comes across in the way he speaks. He is the kind of person who can describe a scene, and there is some like audio that will take you there too, but the way he describes a scene, the little like things he says, though, it just takes you there. Like, you feel like you are walking down a gravel pathway with him. Like, you feel like you are there. And there's a couple cases that he's done that I just like feel so much for the families. And I've only listened to episode 1 so far of the newest season, but it hooked me immediately, and I really am looking forward to the second episode, which is already out, and I'm like, I need to listen. That podcast is so good. So anyways, go listen to that. Last thing, if you have not seen A Star Is Born, you have got to. You have got to go to the theater immediately and go watch that. I'm not even a huge fan of Lady Gaga. Like, honestly, I'm not. I've never been a huge fan. Like, she's great, like she's fine, but I've never been like a fanatic in any way. I just saw on YouTube that like the promo that they put out of that song Shallow, and it was on trending, and I just decided to watch it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Like, this looks really great. Like, I really should go watch this movie. So I did. I made my husband go, and he's a musician. Like, I was like, okay, either he's gonna love this or he's gonna hate it, because that's how musicians are. Like, they either love music related things or they scoff at them. But anyway, I bawled my eyes out at the end of that movie. Literally, I was in my seat just like like this. Like I was like crying and walking out of the theater crying all the way to the car crying. Like I was just crying, and every other girl that I've talked to who has seen it has said the same thing. They were brought to tears at the end of that movie. It was so heartbreaking, but so good. I loved it. My husband even really loved it. Like I was like, okay, the music in it is really great. You have got to go see it if you haven't seen it yet. That is it for my current favorites. Like what else is there to say? If you're new here, definitely subscribe. I would love to have you join the family here. Leave me any comments that you have about your favorites or these favorites or whatever. You guys know I love like conversing with you down in the comments section. And that's it for today. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. I hope that you're speaking kindly to yourself, especially when you look in the mirror. I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.